Another day of streaming. I think today marks day 4, if I'm not mistaken, or what is it, day 3? Or something like that. Anyways, as always, appreciate the watch time. Appreciate you giving me your attention. If you're here, if you're not, I appreciate you watching this later on. That's the beauty of streaming, I'm starting to realize like people don't have to watch it now. People are gonna watch it later, and that's okay too. I think the number one thing is you never know what video is gonna do good. I mean, if it has a big name attached to it, it usually does more views than my regular streams do, which is quite interesting. And I see why people talk about other big names. You know what I mean? And it makes sense. Just yap about the big names because they bring the views along with them. What the hell? Actually, what I wanted to do was actually go to bed, but I have really bad insomnia, so I'm like, I might as well stream instead of laying on my bed acting like I'm going to sleep when I know I'm not gonna be sleeping anytime soon. So there you go. That's that. Anyways, thanks for joining for another watch. Can you believe it's already January 7th? I can't believe it, man. Next week it's already middle of January, and the year just started. We're in 2026. Big things. Hopefully you guys are keeping up with your goals and you're not having New Year resolution and you're just having goals, so forth and so on. Like I said before, I think my goal here is to have 15 days of consecutive streaming, I think, is what I want to do. But also, I've been finding it hard to find really good topics that I want to talk about. So tonight is gonna be a laid back stream, just trending topics, just to keep the flow going, just checking things out, just adding my input into things. One of the big things that I've been seeing is people talk is the Adin Ross topic. He's been going back and forth online with the likes of the rapper Doechii, Joe Budden. And the brother conversation of culture, sometimes I love the Black American culture, and I think when people say that, I guess it has a negative connotation. I am Black, but I'm not a Black American. But the Black American culture is beautiful. They have. I'm not taking any credit for anything that Black America has done. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm Black doesn't mean I belong. I deserve any credit because of the culture of Black American, and it's so influential. If you know, the Black American culture is far-reaching. But also, what the fuck is culture? I've been wondering and asking myself, what is culture? What really is it? Because if it's what these dudes are describing, when they're talking, oh, you're not from the culture, dude. You're not of the culture, man. What culture are they describing? Because most of the people that are online screaming culture this, culture that, they're usually people who you wouldn't want to follow anyways. You know what I mean? They're usually people whose culture you wouldn't want to be a part of to begin with. So it's yeah, I don't want to be part of your culture. You can have it. You can't read at a 5th grader level. You don't even have a high school level education. I don't want to be part of your culture. All you do is hang around the block and, grabbing, just because you have a Glock thinking you hard. A lot of people in America have guns. That don't make you hard. If it's fighting nowadays, having taken a few boxing classes, I understand. Even the most timid dude, the skinniest dude you see, will put an ass whooping on you. But the problem is, most of these dudes, they don't have fair fights. It's all like jump ins. Like you're not really gonna have a fair fight with any of these like culture dudes. So I don't really know what culture they're talking about. Like if the culture is hip hop, yes, okay, sure. There's a certain thing that comes with hip hop culture. But what else are we referring to? Like when these people refer to the culture, is it gang banging? Is that the culture? Because if so, like who wants to be a part of that? Like and also these dudes be so old and it's so annoying. Like you're 50 years old. Grab a book, read a page or two once in a while. Take care of your kids. That's the culture I want to be a part of. Build that culture. Don't be talking about like, oh, you're not part of the culture because you don't understand some cripping shit. Like, no, nobody wants to gangbang. Like, that's not cool. Go to college, get an education. Even though college nowadays the return is not as much, although, statistically it's still one of the ways that you could elevate yourself the quickest. Go to a trade school. Do something else other than, trying to portray like you're this hardcore gang banging dude and that is the culture that people need to follow. But anyways, that's some of the topics that we'll cover later on. But I think the first one is I want to get a little bit of is the new Elon Musk pay package. Like, I mean, if you follow Elon, you pretty much know what the deal is, or if you follow any technology or Tesla or anything like that, and his move with X and how he purchased it and all of that fun stuff, you already know what's going on in that area. But if you know anything about Tesla, a lot of the promises that Elon made from years and years and years ago, none of them have come true, and all of them continue to be false. However, Tesla has been great economically. It has returned a lot of money for investors, for shareholders. So even though mathematically the numbers doesn't make sense for how much cars they are selling in comparison to other manufacturers, I guess when investors are evaluating the stock or evaluating Tesla in general, it's speculation one, and also because Tesla is the first mover. Tesla is the first, company that really took the electrical car by the horn and mainstreamed it, is what I would say. And also, Elon Musk is a very good marketer and a very good liar. And he's made the promise that not only is the car electric, it's going to save you so much money in gas, which is true. It will save you money in maintenance. And that if you buy a Tesla, you're basically investing on yourself. Was the promise. You are investing in yourself because Tesla will return your money, because you will be able to do auto taxi or auto robot by itself, autopilot, full self-driving. If you didn't know, full self-driving has different levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Tesla was promising to be at level 4 for a long time. Like they were going to be fully autonomous driving without driver assistance. And the technology that they are using industry-wide is known to not be the greatest for that vision. Instead of using LiDAR, they're using, counterparts that isn't as great. Anyways, long story short, his pay packages are getting more and more ridiculous. And we know before in other streams, we've spoken about the fight for resources. Like as humans, we are all fighting for resources all across the globe because resources are finite. And the population keeps growing. And these dudes, they're just grabbing every single dollar that they can. With that being said, let's go into this video right here.
For the holidays. A new watch, a book, a special message, a photograph, whatever it is, it probably meant a lot to you. And seeing someone get a gift that means a lot to them is heartwarming. It brings a smile to your face in the holiday season. And that is why I think you can join me in being truly excited for and happy for Elon Musk this holiday season, as he has received an incredibly sweet gift of $56 billion. Okay, listen, do you remember back in January of 2024 when Elon Musk had a pay package worth $55 billion and then a judge struck it down? The judge said, hey, Elon, you can't just stack the board of Tesla with your brother and your friends and then they give you the greatest pay package ever received in human history. A pay package that is worth more than all the profit Tesla has ever made lifetime.
Which is what doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. Like if you know any basic math, like the EPS, like those numbers are ridiculous. Like I don't know how they are evaluating his worth to the company. I think Elon Musk is worth a lot of money because he is attached. He is almost synonymous with Tesla, and I think if he was to retire, Tesla stock would suffer a little bit. I don't know how much, but I know at least a little bit it would. Sure, this is.
So the judge struck it down and everyone was mad. Wait, what the hell is Elon we're talking about? So Elon, not to be taking this lightly, went to the public. He had the board propose a new $1 trillion pay package and then went directly to shareholders and had them vote on it. And surprise, surprise, they voted yes. Every shareholder in Tesla knows they need Elon to keep the stock up. And so he gets the new pay package, but then now, as of this December, he also got the old one too. It's been reinstated. And because Tesla shares have risen since then, it's not 56 billion anymore. It's 139 billion. Now, listen, I want to be clear here. There's some checks and balances. The court's not just giving Elon every single thing he wants. They hit his wrist a little bit, let him know you can't just break the rules like this. He received a fine of $1. $1.
LOL. That's hilarious. And I think a lot of these pay packages is not like a one-time payment, by the way. There are structured options for the most part, like those packages. Like, you know, if Tesla stock reaches a certain amount, you know, per share, or if they deliver a certain amount of vehicles per year and, you know, certain amount of revenue, then he gets paid a certain amount, up to $55 billion. What are you gonna do with $55 billion? Imagine how much money this man is actually worth. Like, that's just a pay package. Like, and you know, he owns all these other companies. Like, he owned like a lot of private companies. He owned man, what's that satellite company called? I don't remember, but he owned SpaceX. He owned the Neuralink things to put the chips on your brain. Also, I found it funny, like, that Elon Musk owns Neuralink because of the simple fact that these people were the same people advocating for no vaccines, but now they are implementing chips into your brain as if that's better than just taking a vaccine. It's just ass backward. But anyways, what do you expect? It's hypocrisy everywhere. Everyone is scamming.
So, listen, I'm not a mathematician, but if you try to add this up, so okay, so $139 billion of money reinstated, minus one, you know, add some valuation changes. Where is he now? Well, it turns out he's hit a pretty staggering number this holiday season. As of now, December 22nd, 2025, Elon Musk is worth $700 billion. You might think this.
Elon Musk is probably going to be the first trillionaire. Like, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do when we have like somebody who's worth $1 trillion? You know how much money that is? I can't even calculate in my head how much that is. Now, we don't even have a comprehension of how much $1 trillion is really. Like, this dude could literally buy any government that he wants, like, for real. Although it's not like cash, you know, he's not $1 trillion cash, but it's $1 trillion in, you know, in net worth.
This is a meme. Sometimes I compare the valuation of AirPods and Nike, little meme in my community. Elon Musk, if broken out into, if he was just a company called Elon Musk, would be worth far more than Nike. He'd be worth more than Nike, McDonald's, Disney, and BlackRock combined. As one man. But that's not enough. You could also add the fortunes of George Soros, Mark Cuban, Oprah Winfrey, Taylor Swift, and me. Me with all my gold. Combined with all four of these companies, is still billions. Tens of billions less than Elon Musk's current net worth. And so, as Kalshi is reporting, aka promoting their gambling, he is 83% chance to become the world's first trillionaire. The betting odds favor him heavily after his massive wealth surge. Now, even before he's a trillionaire, at $749 billion, that really is a staggering sum. That means his.
I wonder when. I wonder when we'll actually do something about this, or if it's just okay. Like, you know, it's okay. Like, I mean, past trillionaire. Once you start, you know, getting interest on that $1 trillion. What's stopping him from becoming whatever comes after trillion? Gazillionaire or something like that. Actually, what comes after trillion? Quadrillion. He's gonna be the first quadrillionaire. Damn, these numbers don't even make sense. 15 zeros. 15 zeros. Like, even in your calculator when you are doing math, when it's past a certain number, it starts giving you E. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even give you numbers anymore because it's just too big. The number's just too big. That's where Elon Musk is at
Current
right
net worth is higher than the GDP of Sweden. Get fucked, Aiden. Sweden is a G20 country, which means he's higher than all of these countries in gray. A massive chunk of the world's yearly output is less than Elon Musk's current net worth. If wealth were distributed the way height is, the average being around 5'10", you might think Elon Musk's like a Wemby type. He's 7 foot plus.
Nah,
he's a very rich man.
He gotta be, I'm gonna take a guess. He gotta be like at least like 10 foot.
Maybe he's 8 feet tall. In actuality, if wealth were distributed the way height is, you would look around and see the bottom of
20
Elon
or
Musk's pinky toe
100 foot
crushing your
something.
city because he would be 4,000 miles tall. His ankles would hit the edge of space. His knees would hit the International Space Station. Everest is like 37 miles. And I, as you can see, am down here in Los Angeles at 6'4" and shredded. Okay, but I wouldn't even compare to what Elon Musk is rocking here. And the big concern, well, I mean, even billionaires would be concerned. Because he's lapping the other ones. Jeff Bezos looks poor. 239 billion. Jesus Christ, Jeff, you're embarrassing everybody. You're broke. Zuckerberg at 225. Jeff plus Zuckerberg.
I ain't gonna lie though. Elon Musk figured out capitalism. He broke the system. Congratulations. Congratulations. Somebody did it. Somebody finally did it. I mean, he first of all, Elon Musk didn't grow up poor, so no surprises there. But goddamn. Trillionaire, the first trillionaire. I mean, at this point, we might as well just call him a trillionaire. Like, if he keeps going at this pace, if SpaceX goes public, he will be a trillionaire. There's no doubt in my mind of that. And if Neuralink goes public, he will be a trillionaire. Like, no doubt.
Fine. Plus, Sergey Brin, it's an absurd level of wealth, is all I can say, okay? And the main concern among Tesla shareholders is not that, hey, this is an enormous amount. The GDP of countries being given to one man who primarily seems to promise things that don't yet happen. Their main concern is the PR. How can we as the Tesla community work together to frame the PR around Elon's upcoming trillionaire status in a better way? Do we need a new term for net worth? People think he's trying to get, quote, richer. But in actuality, he's just gaining control of more labor allocation so we can build a self-sustaining Mars colony and a future for abundance for all. All right, that's incredible.
So I guess Elon will be the leader of our new space colony. He'll be the king. He'll be crowned king.
I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad because I saw his net worth and I was like, well, I know for a fact he's not really doing much on the charity front. So hopefully he must be building our way to Mars because I looked into it. Recently, Michael Dell, another billionaire, though very poor compared to Elon Musk, donated $6.25 billion to create the Trump accounts for millions of kids. Now, I'm not a big fan of the name Trump accounts. I'm not a big fan of this program because it's primarily like a stock pumping program, but it does give money in an account to kids in families under 150K. So there's some good to it. I mean, there's a tax benefit, there's some political benefit, but at the end of the day, some money is going to kids, okay? Elon Musk, he made fun of Michael Dell, which we'll get to in a second, but he has his own foundation. He has his own charitable efforts because he didn't donate to this. He has a very large foundation, he said, but I don't put my name on it. But then, quick fact check shows, his charitable foundation is called the Musk Foundation and has been since 2001. And when you look into the Musk Foundation, it has no staff or employees. The board is just himself and 2 volunteers who put in 6 minutes per week. So it's essentially a slush fund funded by...
I mean, that's, if you know anything about these foundations or any of these like donations or not-for-profit corporations, they're just ways for these guys to avoid taxes.
Tesla shares he donates as part of a tax benefit that he can use for whatever he wants. Now, most of the money in his slush fund goes close to home. He has to use it for charitable reasons, but what counts as charity is pretty flexible. Like, for example, this bar, the Rocket Bar. He created this Rocket Bar and a school system near the site of his factories in Texas. This benefited his employees, and he counted it as charity. It's not for him, it's for them, but what it is basically a work perk for Tesla employees that he's getting a tax benefit on by doing it through a charity. It's not necessarily the nicest thing in the world.
I mean, yeah, he figured out capitalism. Like, he broke the system and he figured it out. I mean, a lot of these people are doing, a lot of these billionaires and, you know, and everyone is complaining that the tax system is broken. Even you as an individual, you can play that game too. Like the charitable contribution, or you're donating to your church, or you donated clothes to Goodwill, so forth and so on. You can write that off on your taxes as well. But these guys are playing the game at billions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of, you know, game type of thing. Like they're doing it with art, they're doing it with cars, they're doing it with donations. Like it's, at this point, unfair is not even a word to describe it.
And I would
honestly
be mad at him, but number one, apparently he's going to get us to Mars any day now. And number two, money doesn't matter. The reason he's not donating to charity, the reason I'm not worried about him having $1 trillion is that the future is going to be amazing with AI and robots enabling sustainable abundance for all. When Michael Dell made his donation, Elon Musk said, listen, it's certainly a nice gesture, but since there's going to be no poverty in the future, there's no need to save money. There's going to be universal high income. Oh, great. Oh, fuck yeah. We're good then. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I was worried.
Who's going to provide that universal high income? Elon Musk? From his $1 trillion, he's gonna, you know, everybody's gonna be his servants. Yes, master. Yes, master. And he's gonna be assigning us paychecks.
I was worried there would be poverty in the future and that we were not setting up a society or a system that would stop
That's
that. But
crazy.
since it's no good, we're all good. Kalshi let me know there's no need to save money because universal high income is coming thanks to Elon Musk. Great, great, great. And I know your first reaction might be the world's richest man being quoted by a gambling platform telling me I don't need to save money. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, okay? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot has worked out for Elon Musk this year. Despite, the material sales and revenue of his companies not performing particularly well. Specifically, Tesla sales. The vast majority of his concrete revenue generation in any of his companies comes from selling physical cars to people. And that has been doing poorly. It did poorly in 24, and it's doing even worse in 25. They're on track for a very bad 25. They hit a new 2025 low in November, dropped 23% from last year. And yet that hasn't hurt the stock, largely because of promises.
And I think those numbers are even worse now. I recently read another article recently on how the stock is performing and how like sales in general have been performing, and it's been and it's been quite horrendous. Okay. And it hasn't been the greatest thing. Let's get straight to it. Tesla news. Yeah, Tesla sales are declining, of course, but also reveal surprises its market share is rising, which is always the case, which I do not understand or get. How is sales are declining, which is how a company makes its money, but how much the company is worth is increasing. The math isn't mathing really, but what can I say? Tesla has never made any sense. That's not how they've made their money, I guess. That's not what Tesla is known for. It's just a speculative stock. Like everybody just speculate on it, it goes up. And Elon Musk just get richer on paper.
Promises about the future. I made this chart back in January, February, where we found the valuation of Tesla if it was valued like a normal car company, and then what it is based on Elon Musk's hype. The additional value that he adds by promising the future and getting Wall Street and retail traders excited. It's the vast majority. That number has only grown, given that this value.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. I think majority of like the shareholders and the board, they know if Elon Musk leaves Tesla, I think the stock crashes overnight. Like, I mean, everybody knows that, like overnight, because it's all built around him. But I don't know what exactly he is providing to Tesla that is so significant that it's worth $873 billion. I don't know.
Actually shrunk. This, combined with something new and something major, has pushed him into the $700 billion club. And that is the SpaceX IPO. SpaceX, his rocket, Starlink, helping out NASA company, has been private since he first founded it because he did not want to deal with public regulations, investor expectations. He wanted to run it himself privately. However, rumors are abound that right now, in early 26, it's about to IPO, aka be sold to the public. As in, you and I can go buy shares of SpaceX and trade them on a stock exchange. Now, if this is a sustainable, well-valued company, that could be a good thing. We could put our money in a growing, future-forward tech business. But if it's an
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how well SpaceX performs. It doesn't matter. I think people are just gonna buy into the caricature that is Elon Musk, and I guess I don't know if it's for good reasons. Like people, for some reason, trust this guy so much. Like anything that he put his name on, investors just pour money into it. I mean, you can say the same thing for Jeff Bezos. He recently started an AI company, and overnight he raised billions of dollars just because of his name. So whenever SpaceX go public, I'm sure it'll be worth, hundreds of billions of dollars too. If not trillions of dollars.
Overvalued company, or if it's a company where Elon Musk is trying to dump this on the public at an inflated valuation to cash out for him and insiders, that's a problem. Because either way, he's going to be a trillionaire. He's targeting a $1.5 trillion valuation, which would put it as the 9th most valuable company in the world, right behind Tesla, above Saudi Aramco and TSMC. Now, these companies are cash geysers that make a ton of money. These companies are all, let's be clear. These companies are all cash geysers that make a ton of money. SpaceX, based on estimates, makes maybe $15 billion in revenue. A small fraction of what these big tech companies that it would be valued next to actually make. It's small even compared to Tesla, and Tesla's the the runt of the group. But I doubt that will matter because Elon Musk's promise cycle that inflates valuations seems to be working overtime for SpaceX. He's already saying we're definitely making a lot of money creating data centers in orbit, aka floating satellites.
This, by the way, there are so many. Well, I don't know too much about like space to begin with. I don't know too much about space center data center to begin with, but I've watched videos on how that would function, and apparently, even though space is cold, it's not great at cooling, and we all know how much energy you need for data centers. Well, I can't say we all know, but data centers require a lot of energy and it requires a lot of cooling because these computers create a lot of heat. Not only that, because space is so far away, you're gonna spend a lot of money to send those satellites or send those data centers to space. It will also cost a lot of money to repair anything that's broken. So the parts for these data centers have to be built specifically for space and have to be very fault tolerant and have to be built with very high quality materials because, well, it has to last a lot longer than what's on Earth. And the replacement cycles, basically, it's whatever it's shipped with, it's whatever it has to last with. And to replace it, you have to send a new one with newer technology, which is very, very expensive. And I don't know how that math works out. And how AI, because most of these services will be for AI. So we'll see.
That host GPUs to run AI tasks, and they're powered by solar power, and we don't have to keep them on Earth. Now, this is kind of a cool idea, I guess. Maybe you can run them in space. It's cool as in like temperature cool, and there's infinite solar power up there. It's a decent idea. But right now, the physical realities, again, I'm no technician. Maybe this is going to be a rapidly advancing area where we get much better stuff soon. But based on what it is right around now, in terms of the near future, my understanding is you need 10,000 of these to be equal to 1 gigawatt data center on land. It's not a feasible solution for the increase in AI demand, and it's vastly more expensive. So I don't see it being a real thing, but it's being promised like it's going to make this company worth as much as Apple or Amazon or Google. And the reason all this doesn't really matter and what I'm saying doesn't matter is because this is a retail moment. The countdown is coming. The rocket is going to take off. Retail traders are frothing at the mouth for this thing, which is why the valuation seems like it actually could hold. And this piece summed it up. It's Elon Musk.
I mean, basically, as a retail trader, all you gotta do is put some options in when when the stock goes public. Put in some options if you got the money for it. Ride it for like a few weeks. You make your money, you get out, you call it a day.
It's space. It's Elon Musk trying to put data centers in space and go to Mars. Expect retail traders to hit the buy button furiously in the Robinhood app. Like, it doesn't matter. The old idea about, hey, let's take a company, let's look at how much it makes and kind of estimate its growth rate and give some sort of valuation based on that. Now it's like, what's the story? What's the promises? How cool? What's the hype like? And for this company, it's massive. The retail traders are so excited about SpaceX that stocks that are just similar to SpaceX are surging. Just anything that's like space exploration themed is surging right now. And by the way, I point to this. This is a Korean ad. This is a Korean website because Korean retail traders are more degenerate than even like Wall Street bets American traders. Like 3 times more degenerate. Korean retail trading has gotten insane to the point where the Korean government is scared that so many young men especially are losing money gambling on stocks that they now forced everybody who wants to trade to watch a training video before trading. You have to watch like this hour-long video saying how you're probably almost certainly going to lose money before you're allowed to go punt on SpaceX. So listen, a lot of money's going to be made. SpaceX insiders will make money. Elon Musk will make a lot of money. Morgan Stanley will probably make money as the investment bank handling the IPO. But the biggest winner, of course, will be Elon himself at $700 billion. This IPO, plus the fact that the Pentagon is tapping Grok. We're not going to have Grok in the Pentagon, making the XAI valuation is about $200 billion. Combined with Tesla stock doing decently well, largely because of promises about robots and robotaxis, that he's got the most wealth in human history. Just an absolutely gargantuan amount.
That is insane. All of it is insane. I don't know. I don't know where it stops though. Like, because he owns a lot of different companies, and nobody's really keeping up with him. Like the top billionaires adding up is like pocket change to Elon Musk at this point. And this next video, I don't know if it'll go down into breaking the space data centers. However, I did watch a video because I'm in tech, so I watch a lot of videos on tech in general, on how inefficient space data centers actually are. Which for some of the same reasons that I explained is Okay. On why it's not going to work, and besides the free electricity or free power, free solar power, there's so much more that goes into having a data center. There's a lot of networking that has to happen. A lot of things break, especially in the technology realm. It sounds good. It's a good idea to have a data center in space. However, there's more that goes into having a data center than just it being a cool idea. But anyways, let's check some of this out though.
In October of 2025, OpenAI conducted a secondary share sale, which valued the company at $500 billion. This made it the most valued privately held company in the world. But OpenAI would not hold the crown for long. Just 2 months later, it was reported that Elon Musk's space company, SpaceX, achieved a valuation of $800 billion in an employee share sale. SpaceX is planning to conduct an IPO in 2026. They reportedly plan to price that IPO at a $1.5 trillion valuation and raise well over $30 billion of proceeds. In a recent podcast appearance, Musk says he believes SpaceX could one day have a $100 trillion market cap. For comparison, that is roughly equivalent to the current GDP of the entire world. While SpaceX is undoubtedly a pioneer in rocket launching, we need to put the scale of the business into perspective. The company was founded more than 20 years ago in 2002. According to Bloomberg, they are expected to generate $15 billion of revenue in 2025. A $1.5 trillion market cap is 100 times their annual revenue. Musk has a long history of making grandiose statements and predictions about the future. For SpaceX, he has long talked about ambitions of...
But I mean, that's all he does. Tesla still hasn't delivered to promises that he's made in 2010s, 2014. And he's still making these crazy promises just for different companies. It's just like, it's the same crap, just packaged differently.
People to Mars and building a self-sustaining colony there. Musk predicted that SpaceX could send humans to Mars as early as 2021. 2021 came and went, and SpaceX is not even close to sending anyone to Mars. The entire idea of a Mars colony is absurd and will never work. We made an entire video
I mean, SpaceX is not even like really. They're mostly sending packages to space, as far as I know. Like astronauts are not really traveling on SpaceX for real, but they're still making money by sending supplies up to space to the.
There's a while ago. Link in the description below. To generate hype for the upcoming IPO, Elon Musk has come up with a new narrative that's perhaps even more absurd than a Mars colony. In November, Musk appeared at an event hosted by SpaceX shareholder Baron Capital. Let's have a listen.
Like we see a path to putting 100 gigawatts per year of solar-powered AI satellite into orbit. And
here's the other thing, like it's great to have ideas. Like I have ideas all the time, but that doesn't mean anything. Like execution is what really matters. Like. But Elon has the money to execute on a lot of these crazy ideas. But also, I think he just have these ideas like in a blink of a moment, like in a shower, and he doesn't take into account the engineering that has to go into it. Because although Elon is smart, even if people are saying, I've seen some people say he's not that smart. Elon is smart. He's a smart dude. If it's not in engineering, he's smart in marketing, or he's smart in business. He is smart. Like you can't take that away from him. Yeah, a lot of his ideas are not taking the engineering into account. It's just
and having this be actually the lowest cost way to power and operate AI at a very large scale. For reference, the United States consumes roughly 460 gigawatts on average per year. Because the average power load in the U.S. is 460 gigawatts.
The whole country.
All electricity of all sources in the U.S., yes.
And you're talking about 100 being added.
Well, roughly according to the U.S. electricity output. And we have a plan mapped out to do that.
In a different interview, also in November, Musk gave a timeline for his space data center ambitions.
My estimate is that actually that the cost of electricity, like the cost effectiveness of AI in space, will be overwhelmingly better than AI on the ground. So far, long before you exhaust potential energy sources on Earth, long before, meaning like I think even perhaps in the 4 or 5 year time frame, the lowest cost way to do AI compute will be with solar-powered AI satellites. So I'd say not more than 5 years from now.
Wow.
So according to Musk, within 5 years, it will be cheaper to make a data center in outer space than on Earth, and SpaceX will launch 100 gigawatts worth of AI data centers into space per year. This idea is absurd on its face. With currently known technology, it is probably not possible to operate a large data center in outer space, and it will certainly not be economically viable. In this video, we will explain why. SpaceX is the biggest company hyping up the idea of data centers in space, but to date, Musk hasn't explained any details, so we don't have much to work with. As it turns out, there's a startup called StarCloud, which is focused solely on putting AI data centers into space. The company was founded in early 2024 and has 12 employees. They have raised $34 million of venture capital funding to date from investors including Y Combinator and NVIDIA. StarCloud plans to make a 5 gigawatt data center in space, which will be used to train and run large language AI models. It will be powered by solar panels. To get a sense of how large 5 gigawatts is, the largest known data center in the world today is the China Telecom Inner Mongolia Information Park. It consumes 150 megawatts of electricity. The largest AI data center is xAI's Colossus data center in Tennessee. We don't actually know its electricity consumption, but xAI claims it currently operates 200,000 GPUs. Assuming these are mostly NVIDIA H100s, the total electricity consumption is probably around 200 megawatts, so it might be bigger than the China Telecom data center. StarCloud's proposed space data center will be 25 times larger than the largest data center on Earth today. So how do they intend to do this? In September of 2024, they published a 13-page white paper explaining the concept. The proposed system would look like this. The actual data center will be in the middle. That's what will house all the NVIDIA GPUs to run AI workloads. It will be powered by massive rectangular solar panels. This satellite will be put into low Earth orbit. You can place the satellite on such an orbit that the solar panels are always facing the sun. Another thing to consider is cooling. GPUs generate a lot of heat. That's why consumer GPUs have fans on them to prevent overheating. In modern data centers, fans alone aren't enough to remove the heat from high-power GPUs. Instead, many facilities use liquid cooling, where water flows through a cold plate attached directly to the GPU. Heat from the GPU conducts into the water. The hot water is then pumped to heat exchangers that move the heat outside the building, where it is ultimately released to the environment. The cooling of GPUs in space is very different. In science fiction movies, you might see someone freezing when exposed to outer space. This creates the perception that space is very cold. This is a bit of a misnomer. Outer space isn't cold because space isn't anything. Space is an empty vacuum which has no temperature. Vacuums do not conduct heat, making them excellent insulators. That's why thermoses are made of hollow metal with a vacuum inside. This prevents heat from leaving your coffee. Running a GPU in space would be like running it inside a thermos. It would quickly overheat and melt. A cooling fan won't work in space because there's no air. Water cooling won't work either. Even if you brought water with you, you'd have no way to cool it. In space, you need to do something called radiation cooling. Here's a picture of the International Space Station. It has solar panels to power its onboard electronics. It also has thermal radiator rotary joints, or TRRJ radiator panels. Liquid ammonia is pumped out of the station through large flat radiator panels. These panels release the heat as invisible infrared energy straight into space, much like how a warm object glows with heat, even in a vacuum. The rotary joint part means the panels can slowly rotate, allowing them to stay pointed toward cold, empty space and away from the sun or the warm Earth as the station orbits. The StarCloud data center would use a similar basic cooling concept, but with a different layout. Instead of rotating radiator panels like the ISS, StarCloud proposes keeping the entire structure oriented so one side constantly faces the sun. Large solar panels will remain sun-facing to generate power, while radiator panels will be mounted to the opposite side, facing away from the sun towards cold outer space. By actively maintaining this orientation, the radiators could continuously dump heat without needing large rotating joints. In practice, this would still require precise altitude control and careful orbit selection to keep the radiators shaded from both the sun and the Earth, but it simplifies the system compared to the ISS's rotating radiator design. Putting a tiny data center into space is possible. Technically, the International Space Station is already a data center in that there are computers inside of it. The problem is the scale. The ISS's solar panels generate 200 kilowatts of power. StarCloud's proposed 5 gigawatt data center will produce 25,000 times more power than the ISS. To produce this much electricity, the solar panels would need to be 4 kilometers wide and 4 kilometers tall. This is approximately the same area as Lower Manhattan. You cannot launch.
Jesus, these things are like. I mean, everything starts with an idea, and it all sounds crazy until it happens. But I don't know if not Tesla. I don't know if Elon Musk will be the one to bring this into fruition. Some things are just better here. Like, the physics just works better on Earth.
Such a gigantic structure into space. It will need to be built modularly. Small parts of the structure will be launched one at a time. StarCloud's proposal relies on the use of so-called space buses to move large modules around orbit and assemble its massive data center piece by piece. But no such vehicles actually exist today. In aerospace, a space bus normally refers to the standardized body of a satellite, not a reusable orbital construction vehicle capable of hauling multi-ton structures, precisely aligning them and mechanically attaching them in space. The hardware that does exist, cargo spacecraft, limited satellite servicing missions, and robotic arms like those used on the International Space Station, either require constant human supervision or are designed to interact with a single satellite in carefully scripted one-off operations. There is no flight-proven system that can autonomously transport large modules, connect power, cooling, and data interfaces, and repeat this process thousands of times. StarCloud does not propose to build these vehicles itself, and does not name a supplier capable of doing so, meaning its entire modular construction plan depends on a critical piece of infrastructure.
Think about NASA, bro. Like, you know how much money they spend to send a single package to lower Earth orbit, or just to change any parts that's broken and all of that stuff. Like, I'm not really big into space, but I am familiar enough with some, fortunately, because of SpaceX, I've watched a lot of the launches and I've gotten, more familiar with some of the terms and how these things work. And it's not that easy as, Chief Elon makes it sound. I guess our Lord Elon
that currently
Musk.
exists only as a concept, not as an operational technology. The solar panels would need to be 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers. The radiating panels would be slightly smaller, but still massive. Based on the assumptions in the white paper, the radiator panels would need to form a square approximately 2.8 by 2.8 kilometers on the backside of the solar panels. The heat is generated by the GPUs at the center of the structure. You will need to pump the liquid ammonia multiple kilometers to get to the farthest radiator panels. This will require a vast and complicated network of pipes, pumps, and valves. And remember that this is supposed to be built modularly and incrementally, so you'll need to somehow attach new radiator panels while the ammonia is still flowing through the pipes. As if these technical challenges weren't already Herculean enough, there's one more problem we haven't even talked about yet. Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field normally shield electronics from high-energy particles coming from the sun in deep space. Once you leave that protection, computers are constantly bombarded by radiation that can flip bits, corrupt memory, or permanently damage transistors. That's why systems like the International Space Station don't use cutting-edge computer chips. Instead, they rely on older designs with much larger transistors, which are far more resistant to radiation but dramatically less powerful. NVIDIA's GPUs are on the other end of the spectrum. They use extremely small, densely packed transistors that are highly vulnerable to radiation-induced errors and long-term damage. Shielding can help, but meaningful protection adds a lot of mass and never eliminates the problem entirely. And even if you somehow solve the radiation problem, there's another fundamental issue. On Earth, large data centers are full of technicians whose entire job is to swap failed GPUs, replace power supplies, fix cooling systems, and deal with the constant stream of hardware failures that naturally occur at scale. In space, that model simply does not exist. You cannot send technicians up to replace a dead GPU or fix a leaking ammonia line. Every repair would require a dedicated launch.
Not even that. AI is also that. Like we discussed earlier, also that AI is advancing at such a rapid pace and GPUs are being developed at such a rapid pace. These things would need to be updated to keep up with the demand of GPU compute power.
Specialized equipment,
like,
and extremely
in
precise
general.
robotic operations. Today, there are no robots capable of autonomously diagnosing failures and replacing thousands of individual components in orbit. That means hardware failures would accumulate over time, permanently degrading the data center's capacity. In its white paper, StarCloud claims that its hypothetical space data center will be significantly cheaper to operate than a land-based data center. A 40-megawatt AI data center costs $167 million to build and operate over 10 years. They claim that their space data center will cost $8.2 million per each 40 megawatts, about 20 times cheaper. The assumptions StarCloud used to come up with this statement are fantastical and completely disconnected from reality. StarCloud does not even attempt to estimate the cost of building the data center in space with satellite buses. They just say it will be approximately the same cost as the brick-and-mortar construction of a land-based data center building. Remember that the space buses StarCloud will need to use for the space construction do not even exist. There's no reasonable basis to assume that this theoretical sci-fi technology will just happen to be approximately the same cost as constructing a data center on Earth.
Yeah, I mean, we already know what the game is. Elon has already pulled this trick once before, and he's gonna pull it again. I mean, I think it's just a money grab. I mean, some of the technology is already working. He does have SpaceX. What's that other company? Starlink. He does have Starlink. And I've not used Starlink myself, but I've heard good things about it. I've not heard anything bad about Starlink as far as the speed, as far as the service. Everything has been great, at least from what I've heard. So, wow, you can roam for just $50 a month. I don't know. Put me somewhere, anywhere. Let's see what the cost is. I don't know how much it is. I do know that they recently came out with a mini version or something like that. Residential light. What's the speed on these things? Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for satellite, and that's the light version too. Yeah, I mean the technology works. Like this at least this product, the Starlink product, from what I know, it's pretty good. You have to give it to him. It's a good. Yeah, that's the mini version that just came out. From what I've heard, it's pretty good stuff. And if you live in the middle of nowhere like me, that's something that you should consider. The mini kit is $229. So like you could be, anywhere. Unlimited roaming, $165 a month. It's pretty good. Anyways, we'll see where this go though. We'll see where all that talking goes. It's all a bunch of talking toes. Okay, touch your toes. Shit is insane, man. All of it is crazy and insane. And even more talking about AI. Have you guys been seeing these new AI companions? This is kind of crazy. Like people just want. We're already lonely. Like we're already dealing with young men being lonely apparently, or according to the data, we're living in a lonely. People just being on their phone. People communicating with ChatGPT, getting married to ChatGPT. We're just more and more, integrating our lives with AI. Like, and it's crazy. But now it's becoming,
Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Morning, Joey. You were snoring again. Definitely wear your favorite green jacket. Look, now we're really vibing. Have a good day.
Hey, cutie.
Hi, Amanda. Great brainstorming last night.
Actually, I need more.
What if we...
This is insane. I mean, that's the society we want, right? I guess this is what we want to always have a camera pointed at us, in our bedroom, wherever you put this, in our living room, with a microphone, always recording our conversations. I mean, they're already doing that, so I guess you just accept defeat.
We flip the design here. Do you think it can work?
Nice. I think you're onto something.
Hold A, soldier. We need more air support.
Yeah.
Whoa, clean
Did you see
shot.
that?
Nice one.
Oof. Maybe aim for the head next time? Break line of sight.
Switch to burst fire mid-range.
GG. That was amazing. Ready to go again? This is Project Ava, your AI desk companion.
My God, this is insane. How far is too far? Like, I mean, video games, you know, it's an escape for you and your friends. Now you're just putting a permanent camera inside of your home with a permanent microphone inside of your home, permanently recording your data, sending it back to Razer to train their AI to be even better. And I'm sure people are gonna be weird with this thing, man. People are gonna act weird. And by weird, you know what I mean. People are gonna be weird with these, like, with these anime girls that's on here.
Do you think they know we're actually calling the shot?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. People are gonna be weird with this thing. Like, I know, I don't personally know them in my life, but I've seen these people cover some of these weirdos and some of the things that they talk about when they do these anime characters. Yeah. Okay.
Nope, let's keep it that way.
Hopefully this
Have it-
product flops. I hope it flops because that's not something. Even in our, like, this is like a Black Mirror. It's like Black Mirror coming to life, bro. That's insane. I mean, what are we supposed to do though? I mean, what am I supposed to do? Either way, they're gonna. Oh wow. And I wonder how much something like that, how much that's gonna cost. Let me look at the website. Oh, only $99. I guess you get to choose your companion. Faker, the GOAT, Esports Legacy. Oh my God. This is insane. And you're gonna put this thing inside of your home. Oh, I guess you can swap out the avatar. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool stuff. Let's invest into more of this stuff to isolate ourselves even more. Then rather than invest in things, you know, that could actually be useful to humanity. Yeah. Being human is not cool. Let's do more of this AI stuff. That is insane. That is actually crazy. Let's see some of the comments and what some people are saying about it. Somebody say, is it April yet? They think it's an April Fool's joke. No, sir, it's not. No, sir. This is real. Yep. Black Mirror, for sure. People
Have
are
a
going to
good
be
day.
weird with this thing, man. They're going to be weird with it. I already know.
Hey, cutie.
Hi, Amanda. Great brainstorming last night.
Actually,
Support.
yeah.
Whoa, clean.
The head next
People are
time?
gonna get married with this thing. And if whatever the nastiest thing you can think of, I am sure people are going to be doing it to this freaking robot thing that's gonna be sitting at your desk. And if it, you know, it's programmed to talk to you nice like ChatGPT, which I'm sure it will be programmed. Why wouldn't it be? Because all these AIs are meant to, you know, lick your bum, pretty much. And you're gonna be paying $100 to be spied on. Ugh, my God, this is insane. What happened to there was another one. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. It's something about oh yeah, it's the AI friend pen. It's been a while since I've heard about it, but you know that was another That was another
Gosh, I'm out of breath.
such company.
We made it. Woo! I don't know how to woo very good. That's fair. All right, let's go.
Wow.
Let me show you how to game, bro, okay? Oh, come on, come on. Oh, let's go!
Are you serious? Come on, man. I hate this game.
I mean, if you have one of these necklaces, what's the point of having friends? Isn't that the whole point, that it's gonna be your friend? Stop hanging out with your friends and playing games with them. Just hang out with this
Take notes,
necklace.
baby. Oh, man, you guys suck.
So much better.
Let's go. Let's go.
Dude, what? How did you do that?
Well,
I know the effects are crazy. It's dank. I could eat one of these every day. Oh, sorry, I got you messy.
It's really nice up here. How'd you find this place?
I don't know. I just kind of like to come up.
who's the person that came up with this idea and thought, yeah, you know what, this is great. Let's put this thing around your neck. It's, our society, I feel like we're hustling backwards. Everything that we're doing is just for the sake of that's funny. The friend inside of my head called Zero. It's just for the sake of doing, just for the sake of technology and machine. And I wanted to, I don't know if there's this book. There's this very, very, very popular book by Matthew Arnold. It's called Culture and Anarchy. And and in it there are some excerpts that talks about how we basically view machines, like machinery, and how we worship. We have indeed expressly declared that we wanted no such thing, but let us notice how it is just our worship of machinery and of external doing, which leads to this. Anyways, this book is very interesting. It has a, as the name refers to, it's called Culture and Anarchy. It's a very good read. It's written in a very old language. It can be a very difficult read to comprehend, but it's a very good read, and it talks about the difference between culture and anarchy, basically, and how what are we supposed to do as humans? Like, what is the difference? Like freedom, and it talks about freedom, and it goes into like freedom is can inherently be a harmful thing because we have freedom to do whatever we want whenever we want. That's not necessarily a good thing, if that makes sense. And it goes into countless examples. I don't want to butcher or summarize the book for you. Go read it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I think that and I think something written so long ago can have so much to do with our current culture, our current environment that we live in. The believer in machinery may think that to get a government to abolish church. Anyways, also that's the other thing I don't like about this book. It talks a lot about God and church and stuff like that. I don't really enjoy reading about that sort of thing. But if that's your thing, you will enjoy it even more. So, yeah, this video is insane. The title is Inside a Teenage Crime Empire. Yeah, we're not doing that one today. But we will do the Adin Ross topic because in the same line of culture, a lot of people, when they talk about this cultural thing, like, and, we are, I don't want to say we, because I'm not part of that, but people are very quick to, ostracize others from not being part of the culture when they're referring to, black things or black artists and so forth and so on. And, my question always is, like, who is allowed to speak on black culture? Only black people? I don't know the correct answer. And, and at the beginning of the stream, I also mentioned, like, what is culture? What culture are we referring to? Like, is the culture, because most of the time the people who talks about the culture, it's gang members, like, people who are part of the street. Like, these dudes are not a culture that I want to represent me personally. Like, what? The culture is gang banging. The culture is reading at a 5th grade level, not having a high school diploma. Is that the culture? I mean, like if we're referring to not specifically to black people, just these gangbangers who are so ready on the onset to claim, you are not part of the culture, or this is our culture, or if we're referring specifically to hip hop, I get it, I understand. Like, hip hop is Black American culture, which, at this point I've integrated it into, but I am not black. I am not a Black American. I am originally from Haiti. Although, in America, if you're black, you're black. That's it. Like, and I understand that we are all black, and as we should be. But there is a separation. The Black American culture, as I've said it before, is very influential, like across the diaspora, across the globe, and even inspirational to white people. Like the Black American culture is very, very powerful. But like when it comes to style, lingo, you know what I'm saying? Things that are cool and trend setting, things like that. But for other things, if we're talking about like that culture, okay, I get it, cool. But also we're doing it because we want to spread those things around the world, I would think. Yeah, I don't know. Also, black culture is very protective of like our things. Like we're like, don't steal our things, don't steal our things. Like, like some people really hate when white people get cornrows, like, or get dreads and things like that. And it's like, that's not your culture. Like, stay away from it. Which I understand, but at the same time, it's like, let people be, man. Like if we're doing it, like we should want to share our culture with other people, even if they're not of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways, let's kick into the Adin Ross. All of this is because Adin Ross is somebody that they see as of not being the culture because he's a Jew. So
here we go. What did this old fart say about me? Matter of fact, get the clip where a week before this clip he was saying he liked me.
A white person I really.
Why do you have to say white person? Like, you know what's so funny to me, bro?
Because
you know
you're
this
white.
Black person I really don't like. You know how crazy that sounds, Joe Budden? Why do you say it like this white person I don't like? Yo, bro, like I swear it just comes out. It just comes out. Like your racism just comes out. Like it's so. First of all, I'm not even white. I'm Jewish.
Black people
I'm
can't
Jewish.
be racist, by the way. Black people cannot be racist. So that doesn't count.
Chat. I'm taking that. I'm Jewish. I'm not white. So are you misracing me? Hold on. I'm like, let me get this straight. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
let me just hear what you said.
Okay, yeah. I hate when I can't say I hate it, but I think some groups I very much dislike, especially Cubans as well. They do the same shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they claim, they're not black or Hispanic. They claim white when it benefits them. I really dislike that. Or some Spanish groups, like they claim white when it benefits them, or they claim black when it benefits them. You're white, bruh. Like, you're a white Jew. Like if somebody see you on the street, they're not gonna automatically say, oh, he's Jewish. Nah, bruh. If a cop pull you over, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's a white man. White male fleeing the scene. Not a Jewish male fleeing the scene. Like, you're white. Stop it.
Really dislike.
Yeah.
Is it a streamer?
Yeah.
One name with two names.
Two.
Start with an A.
He knows too. So like y'all definitely pillow talk about me behind the podcast back, which is crazy. I'm not sitting there off camera, off stream saying, Joe Budden, let's talk about you guys talk about me off camera. Cause y'all, look, he's smiling at you. Yo, bro, that's hilarious.
I don't with that little white boy.
He's horrible.
I don't with nothing about him. Yes, I saw the poop.
He sees everything about me. He's a fan of me. Joe Budden, I don't see anything about you unless you talk about Drake. Facts. Yo, chat, I'm just being real. Unless you talk about Drake, I don't see any of your shit. I swear to God, yo, bro, I'm not trying to be funny. I swear to God, only when you talk about like Drake. That's the only time I see your clips. You see my shit every day. I know you do.
That's what has me on it like that.
Sure.
Like, I feel bad for Puka. Puka Nakua went on Adin Ross's stream. Puka's had a tough week.
Yeah. Oh.
He went on Adin Ross's stream,
Sure.
and Adin Ross was teaching him a touchdown dance to do for when you get your next touchdown.
Okay.
And the touchdown dance was some anti-Semitic hand gesture.
You know what's so funny to me? He's talking about anti-Semitic hand gesture. He talking about it. You at the beginning, the first thing you said in this clip is, I don't like this white boy, this white guy that made it. So people are so hypocritical. Stop playing this little race card whenever it's convenient for you, bro. It's sad. Joe Budden, how old are you playing this race card? How old are you? Let me look this up. Joe Budden age. You're 45 years old playing the race card when it's convenient for you. It's just cringe. Be consistent then, bro. Be consistent.
That poop.
I'm Jewish.
Did on the stream
Hitler
without
shit?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
You're
do that.
Jewish, but you're white. Stop it. Stop it. You know, it's like when I also dislike it when black people do it. Like when they say, "Oh, I'm not black. I'm whatever." Like some people say, or I'm not African American. I'm Haitian or some shit like that. Black people have some sort of thing like that they do. Yeah, but at the end of the day, bro, you're black. If you are fleeing the scene, black male fleeing the scene. If Adin Ross is fleeing the scene, it's white male fleeing the scene, not Jewish male fleeing the scene. Like, stop it.
He didn't do that when he did another one. I'm not doing it.
Do it. You guys can't do it because you guys are owned. Straight up. You guys have sponsors that'll drop you the next day. You're scared. So guys, remember guys, it's okay to talk down on white people, but if it's Jewish people, it's a problem. Right? You guys are pussies. You guys are actual pussies. You're scared. You can't talk about what you want to talk about. You're not real.
But,
Nobody do it, please.
But he didn't know.
He had no idea. He's just like, okay, this is what I do.
So Adin Ross knew.
Of course.
Adin Ross be knowing. There's a little clique of those racist little white fucks.
Racist white fucks. So Joe Biden, you don't think in any way that's hypocritical at all? Racist little white fucks. That's definitely not at all hypocritical or ironic in any way, right?
The racist little white streamers.
Playing games.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So Puka's had a tough week. He had to issue a statement saying, I had no idea that hand gesture meant.
Yo, bro, you know what's so funny? Clip season, if you didn't post this, nobody would have seen this. Nobody watches Joe Budden. Like, that's what's so funny. Like, look at these comments.
Cap.
Dude, clip season, did Joe Budden
That's
pay for this?
cap.
Because I swear to God, I would never.
I mean, apparently Joe Budden is like one of the, at least in the hip hop realm, I know he is popping. Like he is one of the nicest out right now when it comes to hip hop podcasts or platforms in general. So that's cap.
I've seen this clip.
XYZ, I'm sorry anybody I've harmed.
That's a really fucked up thing to do.
I mean, that's nothing away from Adin Ross though. Adin Ross is actually lit himself, so
I just
Adin
don't
Ross.
with him.
Yo, that's crazy, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
I
don't
blame it all, yo.
You know how,
Are you finished? I want-
how
can I
much
say
that could have
something?
affected.
Adin Ross he went on Logan Paul's podcast. He don't be in the white people business. But him and the other little racist white boy, Steve will do it.
Like, what? Dude,
Logan Paul wasn't playing none of that race.
the racist white boy. You're racist by saying that, you stupid retard. Holy
Good on him.
Homeboy said something, Logan Paul said, yo, get the fuck out. Get up. Get the fuck out. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to remove you myself. It's going to go a different way if you don't get the fuck out of my face right now. Yeah. Like, they thought he was playing. Like, they thought he was like, hey, what do you mean? Nah, all white boys ain't on that, dog. All
Bro, look how ugly this skank is. Holy dude. Yo, hold on.
Hey, what do you mean? Nah, all white boys ain't on that, dog.
Yo, bro. Oh my. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. There's no way someone's doing this podcast to look at that. I'm sorry, bro. Yo. Oh my God. Yo, bro. Have you guys ever seen the Goonies? She looks
I ain't
like
gonna lie though. Adin Ross has been wilding out lately. I mean, when hasn't he? I think that's his branding strategy as well. Like he just says wild stuff. I don't know what. I really don't care about this. Like all these guys are like involved in this mud-slinging competition. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all slinging mud at each other. Like who's the worst? Like who's the worst? Like Joe Budden has been known to be his woman allegedly. I think. I mean, you know, Joseph A. Budden. I don't know if he's a great guy. He's not a role model for anybody. I don't think he wants, I don't think he wants to be a role model either or portray himself as a role model. And Adin, I don't think you're a role model either. I mean, besides having money, if having money equals being a role model, then I guess.
Junior. Wow, Joseph. Wow, naked? Wow, there's probably kids in the other. Wow. The caller was alerted to Budden by the doorbell camera. The video, I don't know that word. Depicted. Budden attempted to enter code in the door, that several times before re-entering his own residence across the hall. Joe Budden was charged with lewdness, 2cc, disorderly person offense on a complaint summons. Dude, you're disgusting.
Damn, our generation is really cooked for real. This dude couldn't read depicted. That's crazy.
Before re-entering his own residence across the body by the doorbell camera. The video, I don't know that word. Depicted. Budden attempted to enter code in the door, several times before re-entering his own residence across the hall. Joe Budden was charged with lewdness, 2cc, disorderly person offense on a complaint summons. Dude, you're disgusting, dude. Butt ass naked on the street. Charged with lewdness after naked incident in Jersey. Disgusting. This whole shit took me out sort of watch. So sorry for Cassie. I know, yo, guys, prayers in the chat for Cassie, dude. Prayers, bro. Prayers. Joey throwing down a flight of stairs, dragging. So, allegedly, chat, Joe's not just beating his pregnant ex. Joe also allegedly beat other women. Why are we not surprised here? Look at him. I mean, dude, I'm not surprised. So,
I mean, I'm not surprised by any of these celebrities. I wouldn't be surprised, Adin, if it comes out, you've done some shiesty stuff too. Even if it's not with women, with other people. Like, you guys are all involved in this mud slinging competition, you know what I'm saying? But you can't throw, you know what they say, you can't really throw rocks if you live in a glass house. Like, you are all part of this industry, and apparently, you know, y'all be getting down shiesty.
Joe Budden files. Joe Budden, don't come at me when you have shit on the internet. That is way worse than what I do. What are you gonna, yo, what the f, Joe? There's pictures?
Oh my God.
You should be in prison. You should be in prison.
What's considered? Thank you so much.
Did Jake actually break his jaw? Is there a clip? I ain't gonna lie to lie, bro. That was crazy. Do you have like 8 hands or something? I don't understand how you can do this. Are you that weird? You weirdo?
And I also want to say shout out to Adin Ross. Adin Ross legit helped me branch out to the boxing. And I love Adin
Love
Ross.
Oblivion.
Adin Ross.
Love. Men are sad.
You know,
Men could be
I think,
sad.
I
The
think
problem is,
Adin Ross has done something.
as a man, you don't have time.
That boxing thing or giving people opportunities and giving people a platform, that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's all bad. Just like Joe Budden, I don't think Joe Budden is all bad. And I don't know neither of these dudes either. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we only know of these people what we see on the internet. I know Adin Ross is also